this is Dr. Bad Vibes, and I found some news. Sometimes it's hard to find crazy news. It's like pulling teeth. But sometimes it's easy, because I found a story about pulling teeth. So a phony dentist, age 70, has been busted for practicing out of her New York kitchen, pulling 5 rotting teeth from a victim who paid nearly $2,000. Which is probably less than she would have paid an actual dentist. So I don't know who's the real victim here. Anyways, let's get the details. A 70-year-old Long Island woman allegedly turned her kitchen into an illicit dentist office, disturbingly extracting 5 teeth from a trusting patient who paid her nearly $2,000. She was hit with criminal charges this week for running the dental practice out of her 1-bedroom apartment on Greenwich Street in Hempstead. Oh gosh, sorry, that made me laugh. Just kitchen dentist. Anyways, practicing dentistry without the proper authorization poses an incredibly serious risk to public health and safety. Yeah, you know, they go to school for a reason. This defendant's alleged home operation endangered the well-being of at least one person in need of dental care. Prosecutors said a woman contacted her who doesn't appear to be licensed to practice dentistry through a referral to schedule a single tooth extraction back in July. This happened a while ago. The victim showed up at her makeshift office with a hanging curtain dividing the kitchen, where the alleged phony dentist told her she actually needed 5 teeth pulled because they were rotting. And here is the dentist. So she extracted the teeth and gave the victim paper towel pieces to absorb a large amount of blood and instructed her to rinse with salt water. They said she also told the woman that she'd need a dental bridge, so she returned to the office several times between August and December, hoping to get one. Yeah, it looks like we already want a dental bridge. But the victim never received a bridge that fit her mouth, despite her making additional molds of her mouth and filing down the impressions. Well, she was committed, at least. So during the 5-month period of visits, the patient said she paid her the fake dentist a total of about $2,000. Investigators searched the apartment, finding a curtain hanging in the kitchen and a patient chair positioned near the sink. It's like, that wasn't me. That's I mean, that's just how I clean my chicken chair. Drawers were stuffed with apparently used dental instruments. Well, that's how I clean out the chickens. You have to get the giblets out, as well as impression molds. I don't know. I thought it'd be funny if the chicken had teeth. Extraction tools, tartar scrapers, and a large container was chock full of empty vials of medication, used dental needles. All right, I'm a dentist. Sorry. Investigators also recovered boxes labeled as single-use dental needles, which implies they may have not been used a single time or more than once. 2 capsules of the antibiotic amoxicillin and the anti-inflammatory Relaflex and the local anesthetic lidocaine. A search of New York state records did not turn up anyone under her name who is licensed to practice dentistry, according to prosecutors. Wow. So yeah, she was, that was more than cooking going on in that kitchen, unless she ate teeth. So she pled not guilty during her arraignment on 1 count of unauthorized practice of a profession, a Class E felony, whatever that means, bad. So it varies state to state. So the judge released her to pretrial services with electronic monitoring, ordered her to surrender her passport, and restricted her from traveling outside of the state. And she was arraigned Tuesday in connection to the illicit dental practice. She's accused of running out of the kitchen, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. So while only 1 victim has so far been identified, authorities believe more may have visited her for treatment. And where did it go? Yeah, here it is. Sorry, I skipped right over it. While only 1 victim has so far been identified, authorities believe more may have visited her for treatment. So they add, anyone else who believes they may have been victimized is asked to call the DA's office. And if convicted, she could spend up to 4 years behind bars. So let me just back up a second. I mean, I guess presumably we're dealing with people that may have immigrated and they don't speak English and they're not familiar with how everything works. But you went to a dentist that has a kitchen for an office. So if you haven't figured out what happened by now, then I don't know if you were allowed. I don't know. Should you be allowed to press charges at that point? Unless you, I mean, unless you didn't have the capacity to understand. But if I went in to somebody's house, I'm like, I need a tooth pulled out, and they're like, okay, and they pull out a turkey baster and like some barbecue tongs, I'd probably say, I don't think you're a dentist, and then I would leave. But I don't know. This was a little more elaborate, so who am I to judge? Oh, hey, there's comments. let's see if there's any less train wreck comments on this one. Oh, well, yeah, basically saying the same thing I did. I guess on the less jokey side, that's so dangerous. It's so, like, it's such an easy way to get an infection and just lead to so many more problems. But the counterpoint, and I'm not saying go to a kitchen dentist, but this is a real problem. I mean, you think in a country like America that, hey, everybody's got dental insurance. It's actually not as many people as you think. So there are people with no insurance and in need of serious dental work who cannot afford to pay thousands of dollars out of pocket. So they're forced to seek out these back alley people. I mean, that's not entirely untrue. I mean, I have pretty decent coverage, and if anything beyond, I don't know, a cavity happens, like, you know, you're pretty much, you're paying for it. Like, even if it's just a fraction, you're paying. So from that perspective, I understand, but, you know, maybe meet in the middle. I don't know. So don't go to a kitchen unless it's to use your teeth to chew things, not to yank them out and bleed everywhere. Don't.